What's up, y'all? I said Astral Traveler 369. And do not forget the power of the 3, the 6, or the 9. You get what I'm trying to say? So, y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe and leave comments, man. But right now, we're going to talk about Florida and the ancient lands of Florida and the ancient tribes of Florida and the mystical, majestic, magic aura of Florida. Now, I can't be on here looking crazy, man. Thought I seen some of my notes. All right, look. So what we're doing here is I was explaining how in the Bible they mention giants walked the world, the earth. Giants was everywhere. Everything was suffering from a form of giantism. The same way now they tell you, where's my nose, man? One second. So now that if you are suffering from being super tall or whatnot, that you might be suffering from, you might have giantism, right? So back in ancient times, there was a lot of things suffering with giantism, right? There was a lot of things suffering with giantism. And you see, I gotta close my blinds because I do not trust them. I close my blinds when I start talking about this type of shit. See, if I'm outside, I can look around. But when I'm in the crib, nigga, I don't want my blinds open when I'm talking about this shit. Hey, for real, this shit get real spooky. Nah, but real shit. All right, so look, a lot of things were suffering with giantism at this time, and you had giant you had giant trees, you had giant beings, you had giant humans, you had giant animals, you had giant plant life, mountains was the hills, everything was suffering from a form of giantism at one point of existence or at one point of biblical times. And you got to understand, all these lands are one land. That's why in Genesis, it was pretty much explained to be just one plane, and there was just darkness on this plane. This plane was brought to life. It was brought to light. It was brought to love. It was brought to life and existence. You know what I'm saying? But it was just one plane, right? So just imagine a plane. Imagine taking flight and you're looking down below. You see no curvature. It's just one flat land, one plane of existence. Oceans is in the same land and dimensions as land. Land is in the same flats and dimension as ocean from that level of plane, right? So you're looking and you're seeing it's just all flat lands. Well, this is how it was and how they explained it in Genesis. Now, Nephilim was not a being. I believe Nephilims, they got the name confused in a certain chapter of time, right? Where we understood Nephilim for being the giants. I understand Nephilim as being a particular moment in time and a moment in dimension. The Nephilim fell in dimension, it fell in time, and it fell in frequency. The heavens only get more above, and things that just don't resonate in frequency or catch up in love and light, these things fall. They fall in dimension while these things elevate in dimension. You get what I'm trying to say? So the heavens are only doing this. They're only finding itself and bettering itself while these lower dimensions are trying to catch up. And at the time that we're in now in our reality, the lower earths are literally, if not ahead of where we are right now in love and light and frequency. You know what I'm saying? If they're not already above us, they're absolutely at the same degree. That's why I was just telling you guys in the Gwen Tower video how going to sleep, you just can't be so sure, man. You just can't be so tired. I'm just so comfortable. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the realm between light and darkness and in between are wide open, man. Wide open. Now the lands of Florida is a very the land of Florida is a very, very, let's say it's a very like I told you, it's a very mystical, majestic, magical land. It is connected to the Bermuda Triangle. I would say anything from the regions of, I will go up to upstate New York and follow that coastline. I'll follow that coastline all the way up from like the Boston region, all the way down the Carolinas, all the way to the floor to the the Floridas, all the way down to the Keys, all the way back around us, coming up on this side, which will be coming on our side of like Naples and Fort Myers, or that side of the Florida region, which will be your Gulf of Mexico, and you'll come up into this way, going to your Louisianas and all that shit, right? So those oceans, from the Gulf all the way back around, coming up Miami, South Beach, all that, going back up the coastlines of the Carolinas, that whole coastline all the way up to Boston, New York, that northern region, right? That whole coastline is very magnetic and is very powerful. And this is one reason why they alter that same magnetism is how they alter the weather. They alter these tropical storms and these hurricanes and these different storms. You know what I'm saying? Because of the magnetism, it's a lot of magnetism. I'm sorry, magnetism in that coastline region now. Now, with the power of that coastline region, you also have the Bermuda Triangle. Now, some believe that the Bermuda Triangle is a magical portal, or it's a supernatural alien, whatever, right? Um, I'm not gonna go in depth of defense towards any of those opinions or understandings because you might be right. I could be wrong. I don't know, but what I believe I know or believe I understand. And what I understand is that there's beings here, and these beings have certain, you have government, you have government facilities underwater, you have government bases underwater, and you have extraterrestrial bases underwater, right? And you have ancient structures underwater from ancient humans and ancient gods and goddesses of time. Now, when they have these nuclear test bombs in the ocean, where they explode nukes in the ocean, you think it's just a natural nuclear test. No, these are cover up as nuclear tests, but these are actual nuclear strikes on beings that have bases in the ocean, right? They're not going to tell you this, but they're not going to tell you this, but the Bermuda Triangle is actually a spell that's keeping ocean locked down because, again, at one time we had ocean as a fighter. Ocean was a warrior. Ocean was a titan. Ocean was a being. Ocean could literally stand up and take shape into multiple beings. You You see the massive ocean. The pyramid underwater. It's a pyramid underwater that is sucking ocean. Imagine imagine the ocean being on top of a toilet bowl and you flush the toilet, but not all of ocean is getting sucked into the toilet. But there is a major component of ocean sucked into that toilet, right? Now imagine ocean being sucked in face first. We're only seeing ocean's back. When we're riding our jet skis and our boats and all that shit, we're riding on the back of ocean. He's being sucked down. He's sucked in like, oh fuck. He's being sucked in like this. Ah, face forward. He's being sucked in. Oh shit. So we're riding on his back. We don't see none of this. We're riding on his back. You know what I'm saying? This is him. He's being sucked in. He have all the oceans and all type of shit riding his back. He's trying to look back at us like, nigga help, nigga help. But he's being, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the technologies of the Bermuda. They don't want to tell you that. It goes back all the way back to, like I told you guys, it goes back to the different water beings and the water entities that are in the ocean and taking habit in the ocean, man. And there's a technology and there's a pyramid, the same way our pyramid in ancient Kemet, that dimension is actually on top of what we see now in Africa. They're still there. You just can't see them with your own eyes. I see them. I see them quite clear. We're still talking about Florida. We're not going off subject. We're still talking about Florida and the power of Florida and the power of the red lands. If you ever lived in Florida and you came all the way deep down south to Miami and deep down into Homestead, Florida, see all the way down, like as if you're trying to go to the Keys, there is a part of us called the red lands. The red lands. That is very subliminal and that is very spiritual because the ancient Indians, which would be black people, you know, that go for you Latinos because again, they only told you you're Latino to split you from us. We are the same thing. I can speak Spanish too. They just ain't give it to us. You know what I'm trying to say? But we are the same people. Trust me, we are the same people. So when I say ancient Indians and ancient black, we're talking about us, man. Us. Shit. Yes. Talking about us. We're the ancient Indians. So the red lands, because again, at one time we was what? Red, blue. Some of us even vibrated green. And then there was a lot of us who had a lot more carbon data. So we were bronze, almost golden, almost like a golden like brown. Even that would look red, like clay. Like clay. Right. All of these lands that we walk on, the Nephilim, the realm of Nephilim was at the same sea level as they try to give us that we are now on Florida land. Florida dimension. That's why some people feel Florida is its own entity, bro. Some people feel like, nigga, if you live in Florida, nigga, you're disconnected from everyone else, bro. There is no more population. Florida is an island, nigga. Once you when you only leave Georgia, nigga, you have to cross waters and borders to get to Florida. That's how some people feel. Some people feel like this shit is fucking Jurassic Park. I mean, think about it. We have the Everglades. It's ancient dinosaurs and reptiles and all type of shit that's undiscovered out there, man. Then on top of that, we have a space base back there that is shut down from the early 40s or the 50s. They have a NASA base out there that's abandoned, and a rocket is still in the ground. I've seen it with my own eyes. I went back there. There's a rocket still in the ground, ready to shoot to space, nigga. There's a shut down NASA base with a rocket. A live rocket is still in the ground. In the same Redlands, back there in the Everglades, there are haunted insane asylums. that's been burnt down or abandoned, and people go back to doing the whole ghost hunt, spiritual witch hunt shit back there. It's all type of shit back there. There's marsh pits back there. There's swamps back there. There's still pots and spots of quicksand back there. There's so many things deep in our Redlands, Everglade areas, Florida, period. It is the Badlands for real. Like, we are walking through dimensions every time you enter Miami, Florida, bro. If you enter Florida, period, but if you start coming south, 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 you enter different regions, and there's so many levels of mounds and lands that you don't even realize. Our dimension is the same dimension as the Nephilim realm, and the same thing they speak of in the Bible. It's in our history. They just try to cover it. If our historians do not know, if Floridians don't know, if our historians don't know, guess who do know? The fucking Vatican. And where is he? Way on the other side of what you think is the globe or continents. But he knows our Florida history more than Floridians and our own historians. This shit is a fucking historic cover up, man. That if you're into the whole woke vibe, we should all be linking up in Florida right now. Right now. We have the Florida sun pushing out new solar flares. Solar light is pushing new light, new energy, new frequency, new affirmations, new downloads. I would say, I forgot how, between 2 to 6 minutes, the sun is sending a new download, a cosmic library of information from your ancestors is coming in from 2 to 6 minutes. Every 2 to 6 minutes, there is a cosmic library of downloads coming in to your Akashic record and stored in your RNA DEA archive, man. All you got to do is just be patient and muffle the fucking noise and the fucking dramatics and all the things you just love about this whole physical front ass world you're in. None of this shit is real. None of this shit has any meaning to it. Your only meaning is to channel love, to channel affirmations, and build a structure and a base on your last name and on your code, on your DNA, on your RNA, on your DNA, whatever you are. If you're a human, a god, those are all your strands. Human, DEA. Man-like, DEA. God, DEA. Goddess, RNA. Florida is the land you want to walk on. It's so fucking majestic. It's like seeing a fucking cougar, a black cougar, or a mountain lion. You know, it's very majestic. You can feel it, right? You can feel all the things taking place in Florida. You can feel is the door to all the other states across the country just by being in Florida. You know the next move across the states just by being here because you feel it. You get it first almost. See, we used to get it last when it comes to fashion because we're so far down the mile. Fashion, we get late, and then we don't give up. And then, you know, you can go to New York and get Timberlands you'll never see in Miami. Why? Because for one, we're not even in that zone of weather, right? So we're never going to see the jean jacket sets, the jacket sets and the Tim sets you guys get up north. But you won't see a lot of the Jordans and the Forces we get down here. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's how it is. But when it comes to frequency and being able to foresee and move that veil, being in Florida, you get it first. You get it first. You know all the governments, all the peoples, all the population's next move just by being here because you are sitting on ancient land that is vibrating all the same majestic energy that it has been for ancient and light years on in. It's been doing that and it's not going to stop doing it. And this is one reason why they have the Bermuda Triangle hooked on to it because they're trying to suck some of that that frequency for themselves because they understand the powers and the doorways that are locked in this land in itself. They know the powers that are locked in to Florida itself. You know what I'm trying to say? They know that. Florida is the fucking wild, wild west for all of this shit. It's everything is here. You cannot deny it. But again, that energy runs up the same coastline. Carolina got it too. If you anywhere in Carolinas or anywhere on that coastline, look at your waters. Your water is not the same color or the same tone or density as any other water down that coastline. You wonder why? I'm not gonna go into it now. But trust me, go look for yourselves. So it's the Astral Traveler, man. 369. Do not forget the power of the 3, the 6, or the 9. Like and subscribe, comment, and boom, boom, bow.